David, do you think Crawford will fight you if he beats Canelo?
No.
You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just not let me.
What if there's a boxer so dominant, so untouchable that even the legends of the sport openly admit they want no part of him? That fighter is Terence "Bud" Crawford, an enigmatic force whose mere presence seems to strike a deep-seated fear into the hearts of his rivals.
I want to ask you a little bit about the history that you made tonight, and I want your opinion on which means the most to you. You became a 5-division world champion. You became the 3rd or 4th division lineal champion with Mayweather and Pacquiao. You became a 3-time undisputed champion, the first ever in the 2, 3, or 4 belt era. And you became the 2nd undisputed champion in 3 weight classes when there was only 1 champion back in 1938 with Henry Armstrong. That's a lot of stuff.
You hear that? You hear that?
Which do you think means the most?
And all of it. It all goes hand in hand.
Can you describe what it all means to you to have, you just made like a whole resume of stuff tonight.
It means a lot to me because, you know, anybody can be a nobody, like I said, you know, and that's all they say I've been fighting is nobodies. So what can they say now? Somebody tell me, what can you say now?
You can say congratulations.
That's it. What can you say? Any words? I bet you did.
It's a fear that goes beyond the normal respect between competitors. It's a chilling aura of invincibility that has the entire boxing world talking. Today, we're to reveal the shocking reasons why even the toughest fighters in the world are genuinely scared of Terence Crawford.
I feel great to share the ring with great fighters like him. And if we do it again, it's gonna be great. But you know what? I'm glad to share the ring with great fighters. And I'm glad to be here. I already did a lot in boxing. I already accomplished a lot in boxing. My legacy is already there. And I still taking risks because I love boxing. You know, Crawford is a great fighter, skilled fighter. And I get the credit to Crawford, obviously. And I feel great. I still feel the same.
It wasn't just skill that made Canelo Alvarez nervous across from Crawford. It was something far more chilling. Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. watched their face-off and saw something others missed.
I'm gonna say it like this. Terence Crawford went and got it from the mud. You understand me? I tried to set examples when I was coming up of how to do things. Terence Crawford showed you how to go get it out the mud. You understand me? Terence been there all these years. Nobody would ever give Terence that shot to become that guy. You understand me? Finally, Earl gave it to him after 5 years and he became that guy. But most people who were capable of giving him that shot at that time avoided him and didn't give him that shot. Terence earns, and I always have had, my most utmost respect because he gets it out the mud. People like Victor Postal were not weak, easy to beat guys. Victor Postal had not really lost till he got to Bud. Bud made him look like nothing. You understand me? Bud been beating these guys that we don't know are monsters, but the game knows they were pretty good fighters. Damn good fighters to be exact. He been going through anything they brought to him for a long time. He did not manipulate the game. He hit the game head on, waited patiently until this time came, and took full advantage of that night. That's how I understood boxing to go. Not people to go out and do things other ways. Go straight down that line, hit that ball straight off the middle. You understand me? That's what Bud did. The last person I seen do that, Marvin Hagler had almost 50 fights before they let him fight for a title. You understand me? 50 fights before he got a shot. You understand me? That's a long time. That's no manipulation. That's standing in the gap, doing what you got to do till your time comes. That's what Bud did. He stood in the gap till his time came, and when his time came, he took full advantage of it. And I got nothing but the utmost respect for people like that because they know how to go get it.
He pointed out that Canelo looked visibly uneasy, almost like a little boy standing across from a seasoned veteran. Crawford locked eyes with him, holding his gaze until Canelo was the first to turn away. In the unspoken language of fighters, that was the first victory.
A very smart fight. took the fight in the middle, let Canelo get off his steam early, came in the later round, and just outboxed him for a very smart fight. Didn't stand in the middle for him, made him use the ring like Canelo doesn't like to do. He took the Errol blueprint and used it very well. Not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. If you look at Errol, you notice Bud never turned right-handed the whole fight because he knew Errol gave him most trouble because you used the ring on him as a southpaw. Terence is very special. He definitely goes in the top 10, maybe even the top 5 of the best pound-for-pound ever.
This is the core of the Crawford enigma. His terrifying ability to remain perfectly calm while reading an opponent's every move, processing data in milliseconds, and punishing mistakes with surgical precision.
Virgil Ortiz said to us, if Bud beats Canelo, I have him as the greatest fighter of all time. Would you put yourself in that category once that fight is over and you're the winner?
Of course. Why not?
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm talking about all time.
All time.
Ali, Floyd, I'm talking about all time.
When you talk about all these other fighters who would have done or accomplished anything close to it.
I agree.
I'm asking you.
No, none of them.
Sugar Ray Robinson accomplished a lot.
Yeah, he did.
When you say Sugar Ray Robinson, he never went up 3 weight classes and fought the undisputed
the
champion.
Right, right.
And the first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best Mexican fighters that come out of Mexico.
All time, yeah.
It's a difference when you talk about moving up in weight and who you fighting. You can kind of say that I went up 3 weight classes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the joy in it.
54, 60,
everybody,
68.
Everybody, is wondering how I'm gonna do that.
He leaves the men across from him feeling utterly helpless. But Crawford's dominance isn't just about winning. It's about rewriting the record books in ways no one thought possible. Imagine not just becoming undisputed once, but achieving that monumental feat 3 separate times in 3 different weight classes. It's a run that former world champion Paulie Malignaggi describes as nothing short of historic. He was left in awe, not just by Crawford's flawless 41-0 record with 31 knockouts, but by the way he achieved it. Crawford didn't pad his record with easy fights. He methodically dismantled the top names in each division while rarely taking a clean shot himself.
The way Crawford is, Crawford's very he has a big ego, especially when it comes to anything he does, bro. He has a big ego. And I said this yesterday. I won't be surprised if he dominates Canelo and then they offer him Benavidez, he says okay.
Malignaggi compared his era of dominance to that of Floyd Mayweather, suggesting that his triumph over Canelo wasn't just another victory, but the official dawn of a new era where Bud Crawford stands alone as the defining figure of this generation. Yet, it's not just the wins, but how he wins that truly sets him apart.
If Canelo is saying there wasn't shit I can do in there, Errol Spence had to have been in there like, holy shit. It brings light to his resume. Everybody does it. We kind of knew that Bob Arum had Manny Pacquiao avoid Terence Crawford. PBC, welterweights, all avoided him. I am here to give credit to Terence Crawford for being one of the most ducked fighters in history. Like Bob Foster, like Black Murderers Row, Charlie Burley and Eddie Booker and all those guys. Terence Crawford by himself is Black Murderers Row of this era. Now, do I need Terence Bud Crawford to continue fighting? Hell no. Oh what? Terence Crawford, we know what you are. I am the first one to say, didn't believe it. But brother, if you're watching Terence Crawford, you by yourself has cost me at least $30,000. That's enough for me to be convinced. I would never bet against this man ever again. I can't afford it. I have a house, I got kids, a business to run. I can't afford it.
Would you consider going back down to 154 and face Tirana as the guy who prepared Canelo Alvarez for this fight?
Nope. I ain't going down 154.
Most fighters are forced to choose. They can be offensive juggernauts or defensive wizards, but rarely both. Crawford is the exception, a true boxing anomaly. Commentators were left astounded watching his performance against Canelo, noting they had never seen such a perfect balance of offense and defense. He showcased an uncanny ability to catch powerful shots on his gloves and arms, neutralizing his opponent's best weapons with slick, intelligent movement. But the moment his defense absorbed a shot, his offense would fire back instantly, punishing every tiny opening with blistering counters. He doesn't just avoid damage. He uses an opponent's aggression against them, systematically breaking them down while remaining composed and in complete control. This level of mental fortitude isn't accidental. It's a deeply ingrained trait that other elite fighters recognize immediately. To truly stop a fighter like Crawford, you don't just need skill. According to former pound-for-pound king Andre Ward, you need to inflict genuine severe physical damage because his mind is simply unyielding. Ward, who sees a reflection of himself in Crawford, said their mentalities are so alike that they'll start arguing about anything from basketball to wrestling the moment they're in the same room. He explained, "You got to really hurt the dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he wants to do."
Somebody that, like, I can bet the house on, but
who's the most skilled fighter, Jack?
Bud is definitely one of them, for sure. Me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like, soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So, skillful, yes. But this and this.
Most people don't know shit about boxing, but Terence Bud Crawford does. Great fight, shutout. Just what I assumed would happen. This boxing smart would beat Canelo's tactics. Like from round 2, I saw Canelo being on the back foot, and eventually Crawford was just dancing around him, doing his thing. So yeah, again, I like Crawford. I just think the way he fights is clean. Like he makes very little mistakes, and he knows the sweet science of boxing. So yeah, he showed why he's the best right now. One of the best in history.
That relentless will combined with his adaptability and seamless stance switching makes him a puzzle that no one has come close to solving. But before the belts and the glory, there was a personal fire that fueled his unstoppable rise. From a young age, his father would tell his mother that their son was destined to be a world champion. His mother, however, remained skeptical.
I paid the kids, I said, if y'all can whoop Bud, I give y'all $10 a piece. Couldn't whoop him.
You went out on the street.
Yeah.
What's now Bud Crawford Street.
Yeah.
And offered $10 to anyone who can kick my son's butt.
Yep.
And a lot of takers.
Yeah, the kids in the neighborhood. Couldn't nobody whoop him.
What did he tell you then?
He told you, Mom, I told you I'm the best.
What came first, the mean or the talent?
I think the mean came first. When I first started boxing, I just could fight. I couldn't box. All my coaches was like, he got heart. He ain't scared of nothing, he can fight. And that's when they started teaching me technique and the art of boxing.
A good deal of what you remember of your childhood was you getting whooped all the time by your mom.
And I was getting kicked out of school and doing bad things.
It was a skepticism so deep she once famously offered kids in the neighborhood $10 a piece if they could whoop Bud on the street right outside their house. Instead of discouraging him, that doubt became his ultimate motivation. Crawford admitted that her disbelief filled him with a rage that he carried into the ring for every single fight. Each victory wasn't just about a title. It was a point he had to prove to her, turning family doubt into the very fuel of his ambition.
They bad, yeah.
They don't watch their daddy's hands.
They bad.
But you know, he chilled too though. You can tell when your resume says a certain thing, man, you ain't gotta talk a certain way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta let them know though, before you cross that line. You warn them.
You think are you as hard as your mom was on you or no?
On my kids?
No. You ain't like your mom was?
No. By far.
By far.
By far.
Yeah. She was hell.
What? She was tough. Nothing, I was getting whooped for nothing.
You did.
But at the same time, I mean, Benavidez is also the one guy that nobody's willing to fight. And if nobody's willing to fight him, that makes his value more. And so the thing is that if you get the right guy that is willing to pay for that, and I mean you got the Sheik, and I mean I don't see him saying, okay, well we can't afford to fight this guy. So, I mean, that fight can happen if it's a fight that I think Bud won't entertain.
This relentless drive extends to his strategic career decisions. For most fighters, becoming an undisputed champion is the ultimate prize. But Crawford turned his back on an opportunity at 154 pounds because he saw a lack of defining fights.
Your goal was to go up and become undisputed in 3 different weight classes.
There you go.
Wow.
Something that never been done before.
Right.
And it's greatness. Like I said, this is my era, and I'm taking it. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. I know I wanted to fight Jamel, but if he lose to Canelo, I always said, man, that's a big step. For a person to go up 3 weight classes from 147 to 168 and to win, and become undisputed, wow. What can they say? They can't say nothing right now, but what can they say?
He reasoned that beating the champions there wouldn't elevate his legacy, pointing out that fighters like Fonora had already lost and others had been knocked out. In his mind, why chase a belt if beating the man holding it doesn't prove you're the best? Instead, he made the bold move to chase bigger challenges at 168 pounds, proving his ambition is to cement a lasting legacy, not just accumulate titles. And with that legacy comes a direct message to his haters. In a quiet moment at his mother's house, the very place where his journey began, Crawford stood surrounded by a sea of championship belts. It was a stunning display of what years of hard work and sacrifice had earned him. Looking at the gold, he reflected on the doubters and critics who tried to diminish his accomplishments. With a calm confidence, he said,
just reflecting on all my accomplishments at my mama's house. That's where all my belts at. You know, hard work, dedication. Things that y'all favorite fighters, some of them, ain't got. So I see why y'all mad. See why y'all mad, man. Really look at that one right there. This is where it all started at. Right here. This one. In Texas. In Texas, baby. Don't hate. Just congratulate.
It was a powerful unfiltered moment showing a man who not only silenced his critics, but is now enjoying the view from the top. This unwavering self-belief has made him the most wanted man in boxing.
Bomac, you've been training Crawford for years. Is he retired or is he going to keep fighting?
He just got to take a break.
Is Terence Crawford retired or is he going to keep fighting?
Oh, he's going to keep fighting.
He's going to keep fighting?
Yeah.
You're the man, be man. Hey, congratulations, enjoy the win.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me tell you what Crawford would be if he beats Canelo. When you look at his resume, well, his resume ain't really that great, so it's 1 victory. He'll beat Black Murderers Row. No one questions if Charlie Burley and Eddie Booker and Kid Chocolate, no one questions if those guys on Black Murderers Row were the best ones doing it. They just didn't get the opportunity, so they all fought each other, but nobody questions. Crawford was avoided. If he beats Canelo, his resume will be because of avoidance. He's Black Murderers Row.
Others are finding every excuse to avoid him. David Benz, a feared knockout artist, has shown a noticeable lack of interest in stepping up to the challenge.
With Crawford going up, I believe he can put a beating on anybody 154, 160. Nah, Benavidez is...
Canelo.
Oh, Canelo. I think he's a smart fighter. He doesn't rely on his power. Crawford ain't a fighter who just relies on his power. And then Canelo, you know, when he's fought Belenga, then fought Ryder, Munguia. It's even. I think it'd be a 50-50 fight if Crawford fought Canelo.
Even more telling is Canelo Alvarez's reluctance to trigger a rematch clause. Promoter Eddie Hearn revealed that Canelo's camp had no interest in a Crawford fight years ago because they knew he was a stylistic nightmare.
David, do you think Crawford will fight you if he beats Canelo?
No, I wouldn't fight Crawford.
So you cannot sit there and tell me that there is a more marketable fight out there for both these guys than running it back once again. Your plan to have him drop down to 160 and fight Erislandy Lara is stupid. Canelo Alvarez is not going to move up to fight David Benavidez now at 175. There's nowhere to go. Like, Crawford could still try to conquer 160, but who is putting up real money for that? Canelo has already cleaned out the 168-pound division. Besides Terence Crawford, where else is he going to go? I just think the more time passes, the more we get away from the outcome of this fight, that's when people are going to start to realize that doing it one more time is in the best interest of both these guys. And for boxing, by the way, because that's another big event that you could put on the calendar.
You're pretty stupid for a smart guy, especially when it comes to matchmaking.
Hearn bluntly stated he doesn't believe Canelo will ever want that fight again, admitting Crawford's IQ and skill is a puzzle Canelo knows he cannot solve.
And then on Thursday and Friday, when I saw Canelo in the vest, I was like, nah. I was like, no, he's gonna pull it off here. And you know, it was an amazing performance by Terence Crawford. Yeah, I'm gutted for Canelo, but I'm actually pleased that Crawford is getting the opportunity to show how great he is, because his resume hasn't really allowed that. Don't get me wrong, he's got some good wins, but he could have beaten so many more of the elite guys from his era. And now that was a big win for him. I mean, he's 38 years old. And that, to do that at that stage was very, very impressive.
Would you ever entertain a fight with David Benavidez?
You gotta understand.
I gotta ask you, bro, because I can't, you know?
My thing is, Benavidez is a big dude. Not to say I won't fight him. I fought his brother. His brother was big when I fought him. The only reason why I entertain Canelo is because he's not a big dude. He might be thick, but he's not a big dude. Benavidez is like 6 foot something. Then he gonna come in 190, 200 probably. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. Like, that's a big dude.
And he's skilled.
I might as well go to heavyweight if I fight Benavidez.
Yeah, I understand what you're looking at. You're like, you know what?
You just size him up.
Yeah.
You just size him up, especially when you're going into a bigger weight class like that. You size them up and you see your advantages.
There's no way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. Benavidez is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't do it.
The respect he commands is so immense that after his latest triumph, fighters like Conor Ben suggested he should simply retire. It wasn't a criticism. It was the ultimate compliment, an acknowledgement that there is nothing left for him to prove. Virgil Ortiz Jr., a rising star himself, called his performance beautiful and said that Crawford had beat the final boss of the game. He has silenced every doubt, proving his worth under the brightest lights and setting a new, almost unreachable standard. Yet, even in his historic dominance, the whispers of unstoppable are met with a dose of boxing's harsh reality. While his legend grows, a crucial question lingers. Is Terence Crawford truly unbeatable? Some analysts argue that his monumental victory over Canelo doesn't automatically make him invincible. For balance, they point out that while his resume is impressive, some of his biggest welterweight wins came against legends like Shawn Porter, Amir Khan, and Kell Brook, who were all arguably at the very end of their primes. It's a reminder that boxing is unpredictable, and the debate around his place in history will likely rage on forever. In the end, the fear of Terence Crawford is born from a unique combination of terrifying skill, unbreakable mental toughness, and a strategic ambition that few can comprehend. Whether he continues to fight or chooses to retire on top, his legacy as one of boxing's most dominant and feared forces is already cemented in history. Terence Crawford isn't just winning fights. He's winning the psychological war long before the first bell ever rings, leaving a trail of doubt and fear in every opponent he faces, past, present, and perhaps future. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Knockout Voyage for more amazing boxing content. Stay tuned for the next big fight.